Good morning. Good morning. My goodness. Good morning and welcome to the Closer Cafe. Tuesday morning, December 2nd. It's a snow day here in the Schoenly household. So the kids are off. I'm running a little off schedule. Let me get all of the sharing and streaming codes all set up. We've got a great topic for today. It's a question that I got late in the day yesterday from one of our newest leaddeck.io. I'm sorry, .ai. Jeez, my goodness. My brain is not on yet. Leaddeck.ai users. She posed a great question that I thought would make for some great content, and also very transparently would be a great way for me to create some more business opportunities for myself, which is, or her question centered around how she could find off-market sellers, how she could find some off-market deals for some investor clients that she has. And so I'll share her exact question, and then we're going to just dig into doing that work to demonstrate how you can create opportunities and deals really from thin air, really just from better strategy and good data. So let me just share her email to me, and then I'm going to get right into it because we're starting late. I'm looking at snowfall coming down, so at some point I'm going to have to go take care of the snow, and I've got a bunch of other things on my list today to dig into, which maybe time permitting we'll get into as well. But I want to get right into, I think it's Shanu. I don't know if it's Shanu or Shanu. I think it's Shanu. The email that I got last night. And let me go ahead and share my screen. If you're watching on the TikTok Live, you can pop over to Josh Schoenly Coaching on YouTube if you want to see my my screen. So let's take a look at it here. They said, love your stuff and following the progress on leaddeck.ai. I've already signed up for the free account, but I want to make sure I take full advantage of it. I have a few cash buyers already and would love to figure out how to use your tools to find them properties. Now, she didn't even necessarily say off-market deals, but I'm going to spend a good deal of time on that topic. However, I want to start with the very obvious, which is for them or for you, there are probably deals directly in your MLS just waiting for you to bring the buyer to. How do I know that? Well, I am an initial away from having a deal under contract with a cash buyer that was an on-market listing in my market using the exact three-step system, the simple three-step system that I will be walking you through. If you're interested on a free training this Friday, you can register for free at onedealaweek.com. The number onedealaweek.com. That deal, that again, I'm an initial away from being in escrow on that transaction. That came from the three-step system, and it came specifically from using the strategies in this Google Doc that I have here, or identifying the deal came from this Google Doc to identify on-market opportunities, listings right in your MLS. This requires you to use some some strategy, and it's going to require you to have conversations with the listing agent or a conversation with listing agents. to identify if if it in fact is a deal. There are actually more than 13 ways to find both on-market and off-market deals in this Google Doc, which I'm happy to share with you if you DM me or text me at 717-571-0456, 717-571-0456, or just DM me. I'll give you this Google Doc. But that would be the first place that I would recommend to start if you have active, ready, willing, and able cash buyers. This list is a great list to start with. And one simple little hack, one little shortcut is I like to go to redfin.com. I'll go to redfin.com and, well, it doesn't want to load up for me here. There we go. And I'll pop in a city or a county, kind of totally up to you. And in this city, there are 188 homes currently for sale. I'll go to filters. And I'll just click on fixer upper. Are there any fixer uppers available? And look at that. We've got one fixer upper available right now. And this would be one that I need to reach out to see what's going on with this. Actually, I talked to Eugene the other day about another one he's got. So that'll be on my to-do list after. Actually, I mean, why not just call Eugene? Let's just call Eugene on this one. Here we go. Margarita, I got your text message. I will absolutely send you that doc.
Thank you for calling Elite Property Management. Please listen carefully and follow the prompts to reach the appropriate department. If we are unable to answer your call, please leave a message.
Let me find Gene's. Let me find. So this is what often happens is I'll find the property or I'll identify a potential on-market opportunity with Redfin. Then we need to pull it up directly in my MLS so I can get the best number for the listing agent. And I'll explain in a little bit more detail here why I chose the area that I chose. And then we're going to get into more of the fun stuff on this here in a minute. How to find off-market deals using leaddeck.ai.
Hello, it's Gene.
Gene, good morning. This is Josh with EXP. How are you?
Josh, good morning. Good morning. How are we?
Good. We spoke about you have one at 1609 High Street in NOLA last week.
Yeah, right.
I was actually calling about the one you have in Hanover, the fixer upper.
Second Avenue.
Yeah. Any offers on that one?
Not at the moment. I had some interest, but I don't have any at the moment.
Okay. It's only been on for a couple of days, I suppose.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give me the scoop on this? What's going on with this one?
It's a flip property. It needs a little TLC, okay?
Uh-huh.
It's got all natural woodwork. The woodwork is beautiful.
Yeah, I see that. It looks like that could be brought back to life.
It needs some paint. It can be a rental or a homeowner.
The unfinished attic, is that ceiling tall enough to make that another room?
I'd have to take a look at that again. I believe it was. I was up there, but I really forget. I think it is tall enough, yes. But
okay, so maybe could be a fourth bedroom potentially.
I didn't mention it that way because I wasn't sure how tall it was.
But okay.
Yes, I think it is. Because
I
was up there walking around, but I really forget what it looked like, so I didn't make that notation.
No problem.
Sorry.
It just got one bathroom.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Just one full bath, and then the shed, the building in the back. Is that a garage? Is that just a storage shed?
That probably needs a little bit of work. It's not real wide. I don't know. I didn't mention that as a garage. There's two of them. There's two sheds, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was this being used as a rental or?
I honestly don't. I think it was owner occupied, but there again, I'm not sure how they bought that.
Okay. And it's not bank owned, right? This is
No.
okay. Gotcha.
No. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let me see what I can put together on it. And any idea if they have any wiggle room on the price?
Well, obviously, they like the full price, but see what you can do for me.
Okay. And I'm still working on 1609 High Street as well. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to see if we can get something together for you on one or both of them this week.
All right. Perfect, Josh. I appreciate your efforts.
All right. Thanks, Gene.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
You too. Have a great week.
All right. You too.
Stay safe. All right. So this is going to be my deal of the week. That wasn't even the reason that I was reaching out to this. But this is definitely going to be my deal of the week. Which is that's part of my Tuesday process. One of my Tuesday activities is scheduling out my deal of the week email to be emailed out on Wednesday, and time permitting, we'll do that here, and I'll show last week's deal of the week and give you some context on that. But that look, in a matter of minutes, we found a potential deal. Now on market. Okay, on market, but I'm telling you, I'm having more and more conversations with great agents, strategy calls, etc. Agents who are considering partnering up with us, and collaborating more with us, and in almost every case, they have, and I can say this because this was my mindset or a limiting belief that I had early this year, even, is that there aren't really deals on the MLS that would make sense for investors. And the fact of the matter is, in every case, in a matter of minutes, I've been able to identify potential deals for investors. Okay, so that's on market. I'm happy to share that document. If you want this this Google Doc, just DM me or text me, Margarita. I will get that over to you when we're wrapped up here. But what I want to spend more time on is how you can use LeadDeck.ai to find off-market sellers, potential property owners that are potentially distressed and or motivated, using data. So strategically using data points, details, to identify those that might be open to an offer. And so I want to demonstrate this through LeadDeck.ai, but I want to tee this up and give you some confidence and a real world example from this morning, how you can get started and create transaction opportunities or escrow opportunities out of thin air. Now, the email that came in, Shanu referenced the fact that they have cash buyers already. So they already have some cash buyers. But what if you don't have those? Well, number one, you can use LeadDeck.ai to find those. So for example, and you can create a free account at LeadDeck.ai, a free account at LeadDeck.ai. If I go to new buyer target, and we were looking in Hanover, PA. Okay, so I found what appears to be or could be a good deal for an investor in Hanover. So I want Hanover, PA, and I just want to see the cash buyers. Okay, how many cash buyers are there in Hanover, PA? There are 368. 368 cash buyers with 5+ properties purchased in the last 5 years. That's pretty bananas. What if I want the active landlord buyers? Because I think, from what I can tell, the best exit strategy on that property is most likely to convert the unfinished attic to a 4th bedroom and renovate, make that renovation and then rent it out. So there are 580 580 active cash buyers. Now, what if I want to dial it down? I want to dial it down to the specific zip code. Okay, the specific zip code, because Hanover is a pretty big area, and I want to make sure I've got the right zip code. What's the zip code for this one here? Yep, 17331. Okay, so I've got that zip code. Now there are 73 active landlords. There are 44 cash buyers. And what if after I do some more due diligence on this property, what if I identify the fact that maybe this is better for a fix and flip buyer? Do we have any of those? We have 104 fix and flip buyers in here. Okay, so we can now, I can now, in fact, this isn't even where I wanted to go with this, but now I'm excited to see if we can put this deal together. So here's what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to create this buyer target. I'm going to create this buyer target, but I'm not going to run it yet. Okay, so right now I know that I can do outreach to these cash buyers and let them know about this on-market deal that is available right now. And I could create transaction opportunities out of thin air, literally out of thin air. But the topic today was finding off-market deals for existing cash buyers that you may have. And so the reason why I chose Hanover on Redfin and why I'm using Hanover in LeadDeck.ai is because I saw this morning in my Facebook feed in a local group that I belong to, a local investor group I belong to. I saw a post from an investor who is a cash buyer looking for deals, off-market deals in Hanover. Specifically looking for off-market deals in Hanover. And then I looked in the comments, and there were two more cash buyers also looking for deals in Hanover. So I already know that I have demand in that area for off-market properties. Number one. Number two, even if I didn't have those, I actually have 3 already in my phone from LeadDeck and from probably a month ago now, these live streams doing outreach to cash buyers in Hanover about a bank-owned property. I went and used, following the strategies in this document, I found a deal, a bank-owned property. I got the story of the deal from the listing agent, which is critical. If you're reaching out, if you're doing cold outreach to build your cash buyer, your landlord buyer, your fix and flip buyer database, your list of those folks, if you're reaching out to them about a deal, you better have the story. Okay? Stories sell. So if I would just reach out and say, hey, such and such buyer, there's this on-market property that I think could be a good deal, and that was it, that's not all that interesting. That's not going to get a whole lot of attention. But if I can give them the story about what's going on with this, and from my conversation with Gene, here's the story on this. It's got unfinished attic space. It's got the potential for off-market or off-street parking, and there's value add in the fact that we can improve the current condition of the property. Okay, so you've got to have a story. Here's one. Here's end-to-end story on a transaction that actually closed last week. It was with a cash buyer investor that I'm using. I use the 3-step system that I'm showing for free on Friday. For those of you who want to join me, onedealaweek.com, the number 1dealaweek.com. You can join me for this free training class. I use the 3-step system, and it closed last week. It was a bank-owned property, and I got the story from the listing agent. It had been under contract with an owner-occupant buyer. The appraisal killed the deal, and it was back on market with a price reduction. So then I have the story that I can use to reach out to, in this case, Seth, who I was actually doing I was using LeadDeck.ai on one of these morning live streams, and I was doing outreach to try and find the buyer for it. And as I was doing it, I realized, oh, this one would be perfect for Seth. I text Seth. We go and look at it later that day. The next morning, we submit the offer, and we had to negotiate a little bit. Actually, no, we just had to wait for the bank to reply. They actually took his offer. It was listed at 169, 400 or something like that. He offered 135 cash, close fast, and they took it. He's going to fix it up and most likely resell it in early spring. And guess who will be listing it, right? One of the many reasons why I love working with investors. Anyway, sidetrack. Let's go back into LeadDeck.ai and let's find the off-market sellers. Let's create a very targeted list of potential off-market sellers, and I'm gonna do some filtering, some searches here, so you can see all of these opportunities. Okay, so I'm going to explore a number of different potential buckets of sellers, and then I'm going to actually do some outreach while we're live here. So I'm going to go new seller target, and I'm going to go, I want Hanover, PA, and I'm going to go this specific zip code. Now I could do all of Hanover, and I might play around with that to see what the different search results are populated here. But the first thing I can do is check what we've called the grade 8. These 8 different buckets of potential motivation. So how many tired landlords are there in Hanover that have 3 to 5 bedrooms, 150 to 500,000? 712. That's a big bucket. That's a big bucket. How many are vacant? There are 61 vacant properties. 61 vacant properties. Now that means that according to the USPS, the United States Postal Service, that mail is not being delivered. Okay. I'm going to skip free and clear. That's not one of my favorite buckets. I really like tax default and involuntary lien. So let's check those. Tax default, 66. That's a good bucket. Involuntary lien, 608. 608. That's pretty good. I could also go pre-foreclosure. So let's see how many pre-foreclosures are there in Hanover. There are 28. 28. That might be the bucket that we land on. That might be. Or watch this. Now I'm on our power plan. Okay. When you go to LeadDeck.ai, you can create a free account, and we have an onboarding process that as you complete onboarding, you actually unlock more free credits. Free credits are what you use to get leads. Okay. If or when you upgrade to our Pro or our Power plan, it unlocks some additional features, including this one right here, premium filtering. So here's what I can do with premium filtering. Number one, I can check some other some additional options. Like, for example, I want to see how many inherited properties are there. Oh, I've got to go inherited. Let's go inherited and vacant. Inherited and vacant. There's one property. Inherited and vacant. And in fact, I'm going to create that seller target. Inherited and vacant, that's one property. I'm going to run that, and we're going to reach out to that one for sure. Now, it's a small data set. Okay, so the hit rate is likely to be low, but it's worth pursuing. Okay, now I'm going to go back here, and I want to create another filter. So I'm going to go inherited, and let's see here, inherited. Let's try inherited and tired landlords. There's so many fun things we could do here. There's one of those. Inherited and tax default. Let's see here. 0. Okay. Inherited and involuntary lien. 2. I'm going to save that as well, and I'm going to run that one. So now I've got 3. I want to find 10 really targeted, and then I'm going to do outreach to those 10. Okay. So so far I've got 3. So far I've got 3. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go premium filtering, and I want vacant and tax default. Let's see what that comes back. 0. Interesting. Okay. How about vacant and involuntary lien? 1. I'm going to create that one and run that as well. Okay. When I run when I hit run now, that's spending credits to skip trace and append data, so then I can then do outreach to those folks. Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to go this I think should get us a nice bucket. Involuntary lien and tax default. 4. Okay. I'm surprised that that's still that few, but this is a good example of going an inch wide and a mile deep. An inch wide and a mile deep. So I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8. Let's try and find one other target here. One other, so I can have enough data to do some outreach. Let's do, what about senior owner and tax default? There's 2 of those. What about senior owner and involuntary? What does that look like? 73. Wow. Okay. Now that's a pretty good bucket. And in fact, that's a bucket that I would use automations and my cold outreach engine to reach out to. But what I want to demonstrate here live is a very small targeted bucket that I can do one-to-one outreach, okay, versus doing one-to-many, which is, I mean, that's where you want to get to, is the one-to-many, but we want to start with, you know, I want to just demonstrate one-to-one. So I've got absentee, out of state, and tax default. Let me try one more bucket here. So let's see here. Let's do, which ones didn't I do here? Pre-foreclosure and tax default. That's probably, well, let's just see what that does. That was 1. What about pre-foreclosure? And actually, you know what? I'm going to do in-state, absentee, and tax default. Let's try that. I like absentee owners. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so I've got enough now that I'm going to run this one, and now I've got some data. I've got some data. Let me show you some of the cool things that you can do with leaddeck.ai once you have this data. You can push to your CRM. You can push that info into your CRM. You can email yourself the list, or you can download the list. And if you're on the power plan, you can even push entire buckets in as well. You can also set it up so that I'm going and checking out the lead here. I'm checking out what we've got here. We can also mail postcards. We can do enhanced skip tracing. There's a whole bunch of really cool stuff you can do with this. Okay. This is not going to be a good one. This is interesting that this is coming back because the owner name, it looks like UPMC. I'm confused how UPMC, that's a medical company. I don't know how they own that property, but interesting. Let's go to the next bucket here. So what do we got here? 312 Puma. Okay. So let's see. What other numbers do we have here? Looks like we have all landlines. Let's see. I'm gonna go one. I'm just gonna call. No email address is available for this one. I could also do the enhanced skip trace. Okay, mailbox is full. Voicemail box is full, but I'm going to send a text message. And here is the script that I'm running with. Hey, Andrea, this is Josh with eXp Realty. Is there any chance you'd consider selling your property at 312 Puma Drive to a private client of ours this winter. Boom. There we go. Hey, Andrea, this is Josh. Is there any chance you'd consider selling your property at street address to a private client of ours this winter? That is a framework or a script that I've used very, very successfully time and time again. It is adjusted slightly for the time of year, and I'm including in there an introduction to myself. Okay. One of the templates or scripts that I've been sharing a lot is simply, in this case, hey, Andrea, would you consider selling your property at street address to a private client of mine? ? But I'm just finding I'm getting a lot of people that ask, who is this, right? So why not address that proactively up front? Okay. So it does not look like, it looks like this number's on the DNC. These numbers are probably landlines. So, and there's no emails with this one. Now, if I really wanted to track this one down, watch this. I'll do enhanced skip tracing. Cost me one more credit. And let's see what we get back, if anything, here. Okay, already enhanced. Oh, that's right, because I'm on the power plan. I'm on the power plan, so it's already enhanced. Oh, but it gave me a different number. It gave me a different number. That's interesting. Okay, let's try this number. 717-253-4214. Whoops, I shouldn't have said that. Pretend like you didn't hear that.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Yeah, hi, this is Josh Schoenly with eXp Realty. This call is admittedly out of the blue, but I'm just wondering if there's any chance you would consider selling 312 Puma Drive to a private client of ours this winter or even early spring. This is my direct cell phone. If you could let me know either way, you can call or text me back 717-571-0456. Thanks. Now, I don't know if this is a cell phone or not, but I'm going to copy my text message. And I'm going to try and text this number. Ooh, it's a blue text. So we'll see. Blue means iPhone. I don't know if I've got the right number there, but we'll see. I got, it looks like we had a couple of great questions or comments in the live stream comment feed. I'm going to get to that in a minute, but before I do, I want to do outreach to one more here. So let's see here. I'm gonna. Why is it not? For some reason, it's not allowing me to text. But there is a text automation in here where you can tap to text and it will pre-populate. It will pre-populate whatever script you have set in your profile. So when you go and create your free account, leaddeck.ai, and you go to profile, you can edit the automated scripts that populate. And this I edited this morning. Hey, first name, their first name. This is Josh with eXp Realty. Is there any chance you'd consider selling your property at street address to a private client of ours this winter? So I edited that this morning, and for whatever reason, it's not showing up to text. But we're gonna make the best of it here. So I'm going to what bucket is this one? I can't remember. Let's see what this was. This was inherited plus what? Well, I'm going to have to get with Sean on that too. So I'm going to have to confirm with Sean how we can make it clear what buckets these are falling into. But let's just go ahead and call. I'm going to call Matthew here. We'll see if we get. There's more numbers too. Okay, so that is a disconnected number. But here's what we're going to do with this one. So I've got some emails. If I hit email, it doesn't look like the email function is set up, but I know on my phone, watch this. If I log in from my phone, actually, I'm going to do this end to end. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over to profile, and I'm going to slightly tweak my outbound scripts. So watch this. This is really good. I'm going to slightly tweak my outbound scripts. Hey, would you, is there any chance you'd consider selling your property to a private client of ours this winter? So I'm tweaking that, and then I just got to go in. I got to save all scripts, and then I'm going to log in from my phone and watch how easy we've made it to send this email and text for that matter. So I'll demonstrate that on the phone as well. I just got to log in on my phone. And I got to go to my deal deck. And let's see here. Where am I at here? I think, is it this? No. Where was Matthew at? Inherited 2 properties. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I've got it up here. I hit view details. Okay, view details. I scroll down to find the contact info, and then I'm hitting email right there. Look at that. Look at that. And it even has my signature file because I have that saved on my phone. And bada bing, I send that email. And there were 2 emails in there, so I'm going to send it to both because you never know. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back there. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got. We can work through. And I'm going to get to, if you have questions or comments, etc., please drop them in the comment section. I know that there were a couple in there that I absolutely will get to here in just a minute or two. That one we already looked at. 1, 2, here we go. This is in-state involuntary lien, I believe. So let's go here. I've got the, we've got some emails here. This doesn't seem to match up though. I'm not super confident in this one. Look at all of this. Look at all of this. Details for every contact card. It has the estimated value, mortgage balance, the last sale price, percent equity, when it was last sold. I mean, this is really good, good information. Let's see here. So let me go. I'm going to go to the next card. Let's see here. Here we go. This looks like a good one here. All right. Okay. Just looking at contact info. Where is the contact info? Owner contact info. Okay. This is most likely a good email. So I tap it and I send, and then I tap again, and this time this looks like Mary. All right. So, finding off-market sellers. We have to find the opportunities, right? Who they are. There's a bunch of different filtering methodologies there. And then it can be cold phone call, text, email and let me show you a direct mail piece that is working really well for me right now. And let me also state that LeadDeck.ai is still very, very much in its infancy. And if you're interested in becoming a founding Power Plan member, just reach out to me. You can DM me or text me. And why might that be something that you're interested in? Because we will get together with you and we'll set everything up. We'll build out all of your integrations. We'll strategize with you. We'll help you maximize your existing assets. We'll do a lot of this stuff together with you because two reasons. Number one, we want you to win. And number two, we're still figuring out the kinks. And in fact, just in the last week, we have gotten a ton of great recommendations from users like Bob Milloway in New Jersey and April Moore in Washington State. And I forget, there's one other one that we got just in the last week of recommendations that we've now taken and improved the platform with. Okay. So here's a direct mail piece that is working incredibly well with me. I'm Thanks.io. Would you consider selling your property at street address to an out-of-state private client of ours? If so, please call or text me at this number. This works great as a letter. It works great as a note card. We have some other great direct mail pieces that are working really well as well. Postcard pieces. So if you want help with implementing all of this strategy and using this data that we have available for you to to fill your pipeline, let's get together. Or at worst, join me for the free training class that I'm hosting Friday at noon Eastern. It's onedealaweek.com. Why the phone resolutions? I don't know what that means. But William, I'm trying to use LeadDeck for identifying properties in Austin, Texas. Under location, I enter the zip code. A red box shows up asking for a location. Trying again. Do I need to enter? I'm using an iPad, not my computer. Any thoughts about this? That is really weird, William. You might have to refresh. It may be just a one-time glitch. I don't think it would have anything to do with it being on an iPad, but I'll have to double check with Sean, who's the developer. But what you should see when you're using it is the following. So whether you're going to new buyer seller target or new buyer target, let's go back to buyer target. And I want a specific zip code, let's say 13311. It populates there. I hit that. It's then you can see that it's sort of populated in there, and then I can check the lead counts and do other things here. I can change if I want multifamily investors, if I want vacant land buyers, all kinds of good stuff here available for you. So William, let me know. Hit that refresh, and hopefully that should that should fix it. So off-market sellers, you need to find what makes the most sense in your market, and that will take some time and energy. You have to play with some of those different filters to find who might be more distressed or motivated and open to an offer. And today the focus was outbound, meaning you're doing cold outreach to see who the hand raisers are, who might be interested. 2 weeks ago on the mastermind, I also covered warm inbound. So what you can do to create warm inbound opportunities as well. So one of the things I didn't even mention is you've got active cash buyers. You could certainly post on social media describing their buy box and see who's thinking about selling, or who do you know who might be open to an offer, right? So lots of ways that you can do this, and a number of strategies that you can employ to to create opportunities for you. I am negotiating myself on a 4-unit that came from cold outreach using the exact script that I mentioned targeting a list of multifamily property owners who were also distressed. They were, and we did a number of buckets. It was that they were either, so they owned a multifamily property and either delinquent on taxes, had involuntary liens, were in pre-foreclosure. What were the other big buckets? Inherited, and there was one other big bucket. Oh shoot, let me think here. Let me go to the seller target. Absentee out of state. Oh, and vacant. So there were kind of 6 big buckets. It was multifamily owners, and they were either they either were delinquent on taxes, had an involuntary lien, were vacant, absentee out of state owner, pre-foreclosure, or what was the other bucket I just mentioned? There was one other one. You'll have to go back and watch to close the loop on that. So, and then what it comes down to is just time blocks, just blocking time to do the work to identify those opportunities. And here's what I know that happens is that the more you do all 3 of the steps that I'm going to outline on Friday in detail, which very quickly are find a good deal on market or off market, then do outreach to the potential investor buyers for that deal, and then either make an offer on the deal that you identified in number 1, or more likely, then go and find the actual type of deal that they're looking for from step number 2, right? Because a lot of times, I'll do outreach about a property. So let's say that I start to do outreach around this this fixer upper that I called Gene on. I'm going to start doing outreach to investors about that deal, and some of them might be interested in that actual deal. But I also know that what often happens is they'll tell me, I'm not really interested in that. This is more what I'm looking for. And then I can go and find them what they're looking for, either on market or off market. And it's just playing matchmaker and getting paid very well to do so. And just I'll share these numbers not to brag, but just to illustrate that that I'm doing what I'm preaching here. I'm practicing what I'm preaching here. Since September 1st, I've closed 15 transactions. I've taken, I believe it's 7 new listings. It's either 6 or 7 new listings. And I have 6 deals in escrow. And by the end of the day today, or maybe even by lunchtime today, that should be 7. And I'm negotiating 2 more. So by the end of the week, it might be 9, in escrow. I don't have any settlements this week, bummer, but I have at least 2 next week. I have at least 1 the next week, at least 2 the week after that. And again, this is not to brag or boast. I'm just illustrating that the work that I'm doing and the 3-step system or process that I'm going to detail and walk everybody through at onedealaweek.com, it's working. It's working, and it's working really well right now. And all of this is happening in the fall and winter in Central PA, where as I'm looking right now, we've got, 4 or 5 inches of snow out there, right? So, and it's also working because I'm not just waiting for business to come to me. I'm going and proactively creating business through my activity by the work that I'm doing each and every day. So with that, I'm going to wrap for the day. Tomorrow on our Wednesday mastermind, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we host a free Zoom mastermind for agents that want to, they want to grow, want to sharpen their axe. They want to continue to get better and learn. And we have a special guest coming tomorrow. He's going to be talking about unlocking your potential as an investor agent. Unlocking your potential as an investor agent. His name is Matt Gardner. His call sign is Roar. He was in the Air Force. He's written a great book, and really excited to have him as a guest. You can join us for free tomorrow and every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can register at growwithjosh.com/mm. growwithjosh.com/mm. We put the replays of all of those sessions in our free Skool community, Skool spelled Skool. The community, there is a link to the Skool community in the description with this video, or you just find it at Leads, Listings, Leverage. And the replays, you can join for free. The replays are under the classroom section and then replays. And you can see we've got just, a growing number of great trainings and resources. So you've got that you can check out tomorrow. And then I'm really excited for the training class for Friday, onedealaweek.com. You can register and join me for that session for free. I'm going to walk you through a simple 3-step process, a simple 3-step system for closing a deal a week, every week, without a big ad budget, without having to record a bunch of silly TikTok-y style videos, and without working a bunch of nights and weekends, if you choose. Anyway, so onedealaweek.com. Check out leaddeck.ai if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow on whatever your preferred channel is.